time for the clash that we all have been waiting for. Alireza Firouzja from the Triveni Continental Kings takes on Domaraju Gukesh from the PBG Alaskan Knights. D4, knight f6 and knight to c3. Alireza plays the Jobawa London against Gukesh. A fighting weapon, pawn to c5, e3 played. And Gukesh goes bishop g4 and comes back bd7. He's prepared here. Alireza blitzes out, d takes c5, and now Gukesh plays his knight, wanting to play e5, sacrifices another pawn in the center, hitting the bishop here, bishop g5, and a check comes in. Now if you block with c3, there's knight d5, which is good for black, so he comes back, and bishop e6, fantastic prep here, a3, a good move. And knight d5, Gukesh still blitzing it out. Now knight e2 is the best move in the position, but Alireza goes wrong. He plays his queen to d2, and this actually allows Gukesh to take on c3 and spoil the structure totally. He takes it, spoil the structure of his opponent. Takes on c3, queen takes c3, and now queen takes queen, pawn takes. Look at the black pawns here, all mangled up. Bishop takes c5, pawn to e4, and now f6, hitting the bishop. The bishop drops back, and Gukesh long castles, getting his king down the open file. After just 15 moves of the opening, Gukesh has a wonderful position. He goes knight a5. The bishop comes back and he trades, king takes, and now you can put your piece on c4. He puts bishop on c4, and of course Alireza doesn't want to take, because take and the rook would enter. So king e3, rook to d6 by Gukesh. He's trying to double up the rooks here. Knight comes out to h3, and now the idea is to bolster the d3 square with your knight. And that's why Gukesh changes plans. He goes rook c6. He's now attacking the c3 pawn. f4 by Alireza. He's trying to get some activity rolling. Rook swings in to the center of the board. And now pawn takes pawn. And bishop takes bishop. Pawn takes, and rook takes c3, attacking the d3 pawn. He takes here, king f4. gf6, and now you can see the amount of material on the board has greatly reduced, but still whites and black both have their chances, especially because both Alireza and Gukesh are fighters, so they have their trump cards. For example, black here has active rooks, queenside majority. White has an active king and a knight that's ready to chop the pawn and push it forward. Knight b3 played, attacking the rook. He goes rook d1, offering a trade of rooks. Rook takes pawn, taken here by Gukesh. Now knight takes f6, taken. Gukesh plays his knight to c5. He's trying to create some kind of a mating attack against the white king. Rook g1, offering a trade of rooks. And Gukesh doesn't want it. He's like, I really want to go after your king. King e5. And now knight to d3 check. Not really, king d4. So b6 first played to make square for the king. Rook g7, cutting the king off. And now knight d3 check, attacking the king. Now this is hanging here. He goes rook d3. Rook takes d3, and rook takes a7 taken. Now the game gets super complicated here because Gukesh takes on h2. If you take here, by the way, knight h7, there's rook d7. If you trade rooks, black is winning. So Alireza now goes knight to d5. He's an exchange down, but he has chances to hold this. Rook h5 check, king f4, king comes back, And now perhaps the best move is to hold on to this pawn, not give it up. Gukesh goes king b8, rook comes to g7 and check, king comes back. He chops off the pawn, and this is not the best move because now the pawns get traded on a3 and b6. Knight takes b6. And rook check. Knight d5 coming back with the knight makes a lot of sense. And how is white holding this? It's because of the excellent coordination of his pieces. h5 played here, rook h7, trying to get behind the pawn. Rook h1. Gukesh is like, I'm pushing my pawn, my rook will make sure that your king is smoked out. And Alireza goes king d4. Maybe not the best, should have gone in. And check. King up again. And now Gukesh ready to push his pawn. He pushes to h4. Black is really pressing here. Check. Somehow Gukesh's king is ready to run. He goes here, repeats, gains couple of seconds because they've crossed 40 moves. Now it's 2 seconds increment. Rook h8. And you have to go rook a1 perhaps. Gukesh goes rook c4. He's not going to get checkmated here. Check. And maybe that was not the right decision, as now the king comes back and the pawn is just 2 squares away from queening. 3 squares away from queening. And Firouzja goes back with his knight. You can see there Gukesh calculating this. He knows he's very close to victory here. And he goes rook check, a good move. If king d4, he can put his rook on h5 behind the passer. Alireza goes king d6, rook b5, offering a trade. Check here, king comes back, he goes behind the pawn, and now h3 works. He pushes forward. The knight jumps in, still trying to create some kind of mating patterns here with the rook check. Knight and the king, is there a mate? Is the big question. Gukesh now pushes with h2 check, king b8. He goes king c6 and boom, takes. Whatever you take with, the rook will come and make a queen, and Alireza resigns here. Gukesh wins. An amazing game. What a battle that was. A huge one. And there you see Gukesh gets up and starts looking at other games. The unfortunate part for him is that his team PBG Alaskan Knights actually lost their game, lost their match. Alireza, even though he loses on top board, his team, the Triveni Continental Kings, won. So that's how Gukesh, in spite of winning, his team did not win, but Gukesh really coming back into this tournament, first beating Caruana, now Firouzja. I would like to pay some attention to this key moment when Alireza brought his rook to g7. Gukesh went to knight d3 check. Now if you see, if you go king e6, rook c6 check, and this knight is hanging here. So here rook f6 takes and mate. So that's the reason why Alireza could not go up. He had to come back to d4. But then he saw that Gukesh has an insane move, knight b2. And with this move, he's threatening a check. He's threatening the f6 knight. And it looks very scary. So for example, if you take here, I take with a check. And next move, I take this. So he decided to sacrifice his rook here. But instead, there was a beautiful move. King d4. knight b2, and now this beautiful try, rook to d2. With this move, if you take, I take back, and now I attack both of you. So that's the reason why a check, king e3, and now if you take on d2, I take back. If you take the knight, I take here. So this was a defense that Alireza had. The moment he sacked here with rook d3, of course the position became quite favorable for black, and although Alireza had quite a good chance to hold this game, it was always very tough with just couple of minutes on the clock, and Gukesh really pressed well. He found some great moves, especially this one here, where when he had very little time on the clock, he found check and rook b5, and after that he did not let his opponent come back.